David 691, running engine, tailgating, and speeding. 10 minutes actually, anonymous caller.
That's the vehicle in front of us right now.
Hi everyone, I am Star Sorheim, the Senior Communications Coordinator for the City of Elk River, and I am here with
Sergeant Dave Windels.
With the Elk River Police Department, and in the back,
I'm Jake with the Elk River Communications Department.
yes. So we are on another ride along. Today is, what is today? Thursday, March 19th. Oh, it's my niece's birthday. I can't believe I forgot that. Today is Thursday, March 19th. It is 5:05 p.m. So what can we expect to see in Elk River around this time of day?
Well, our call load increases usually between the hours of 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. just because kids are getting out of school, people are getting off work, there's a lot of hustle and bustle, increase in traffic and increase in calls for service just because you have people coming from the workplaces, sometimes out of the city, that are coming back home. And my focus, aside from being in the call rotation and answering calls for service, is to watch for and act accordingly when I see some aggressive type of driving.
You want to talk about what vehicle we're in today?
Yeah, so we are in, it's almost a year old for us, but it's a 2025 Ford F-150, iconic silver in color, which was essentially granted to us from the state of Minnesota for prior traffic enforcement efforts, and it just allows us the ability to blend in to traffic a little bit more, essentially undetected. Not that we want to use trickery to our advantage, but we've seen that a lot of people that have poor driving habits are going to do them when there's not a marked squad car around. So having this in the fleet and taking it out onto the roadways allows us to see and observe a lot of these bad driving habits that people have, and to act accordingly when we witness them. So you can kind of see what I was talking about is when people get on their phones, and then you can see went way over onto the white fog line of the roadway.
Yeah.
It's possible they're still on their phone. So, and again, not signaling this turn either. So the phone usage is clearly a distraction.
Ooh, swerving.
3609 traffic. And again, could be on the phone, not watching the roadway, right?
Yeah.
Zebra Lincoln Sam 573, Highway 169 in School Street. So again, crossing way over onto the shoulder of the roadway here. At this point, it's more of a threat to public safety. So rather than pulling alongside of them to see if they're still on the phone, I'm going to make the traffic stop because I don't want this driving conduct to go on any further. Somewhat of a dangerous spot to be in, especially when there's 4 lanes of 65 miles an hour. So, in speaking with the driver, after explaining the reason for the traffic stop to him, on both of the turns, he told me, quote, "I thought I did," meaning the turn signals, which you in the truck here saw there was clearly not. You can see the turn signals are a bright orange color. So when the left turn was made, there was no turn signal. When the right turn was made, there was no turn signal. And then there was the weaving within the lane and crossing the lane lines. He claims he wasn't on his phone after getting on the highway, but there's no way that I can prove that one way or another. So,
But after the highway, so still admitted that.
He did tell me that he was texting.
Okay.
I mean, when I advised him the reason for the stop, I asked if it was an app or text, and he said, yeah, it was texting. So he'll be cited today with a petty misdemeanor offense of a wireless communication device use. He'll be explained his options. He can either pay the fine, or he can contest it in court, at which time a judge would listen to both sides of the story and make a decision. We used to get a lot of complaints in this area. It's since subsided, but we did work it pretty hard for a while with the LiDARs and radars just going back and forth. I think actually what slowed people down is when this walking trail got a little more popular. I think people just saw
see the
pedestrians
people,
and they went, whoa, you know, I
Yeah.
better slow down a little bit. Which I'm sure the walkers and bicyclists and
We're on Elk Lake Road for you Elk River residents watching. Elk Lake Road.
So Elk Lake Road is a 50 mile per hour zone just north of Proctor. Proctor Road rather, and then it changes to 55 miles per hour pretty much right here on the south end of the golf course. So I know my target vehicle, I could visually see they were going faster than the posted limit. My radar confirmed that. They still seem to be traveling at a speed that's much higher than they should be. Slowed down a little bit, but 3609 traffic. Edward Henry Yellow 742 pulling into the Elk River Golf Club off Elk Lake Road. So in speaking with this driver, I explained to her the reason for the stop. I have to believe she knows that it's a 50 zone considering she lives right up the street here, but she did say that she wasn't paying attention. She didn't know how fast she was going. And at, you know, the speed that she was at, 13 over, we'll take a look at her driving record, see if she's a habitual offender, if she's got multiple violations, or even warnings for that matter. Otherwise, you may recall that there was only one other vehicle in that entire stretch. So it's not that she was in and out of traffic at, you know, 63 miles an hour for an extended period of time. She actually slowed down a little bit by the time we had caught up with her. So those are all factors that I take into consideration when I'm making traffic stops. It looks like she has one speeding ticket on there. So today, you know, based on her honesty and based on the lack of traffic in the area, the distance that she was going, the speed that she was, I'm just going to give her a verbal warning. She will go down as having been warned in our system. So if she stopped again for the same offense, she might not experience the same outcome. But I think that a warning today based on everything is the appropriate decision to make. And hopefully, even though it's not a ticket, we change her behavior. This pickup truck that's ahead of us seems to be traveling at a very high rate of speed, but we've got some traffic here that might cause an issue trying to catch up, but I'll do what I can. So if you know the vehicle I'm talking about, the camera won't pick it up, but it's the one with the loud exhaust that was kind of in and out of traffic back there. And tailgating and has now passed at least these three vehicles. This is somewhat, you know, this is an advantage of having this truck because the person has no idea that it's being driven by a police officer. So I'm going to try to catch up to it and see if it'll continue its driving behavior. Right now it's following way too closely to the person behind it or in front of it. So just simply trying to position myself in behind this pickup truck to see if they'll continue this aggressive driving behavior. It slowed down significantly, but I think that's because the person in front of it is traveling at the speed limit. So if they move out of the way in the next half mile or so, now that we're directly behind it, hopefully the camera can pick up the exhaust. That's a good indicator that the vehicle is accelerating. So
call David 691, running engine, tailgating, and speeding. 10 minutes actually, anonymous caller.
That's the vehicle in front of us right now.
Yeah, someone called it in.
3609.
609.
I will be stopping that vehicle on Highway 10 at 146th.
10 and 146, 1819.
Well, that's what you call coincidence.
Does that happen often where a call comes in and you're already on it?
No. Considering we were going to stop this car before that complaint came out, that's to our viewers, that is called a coincidence. So in speaking with this driver, when I went up and made contact, I explained the reason for the stop. He owned it. He didn't necessarily remember revving his engine over near Proctor Avenue, but as soon as I walked up to the car, I could smell strong odor of marijuana, which is now legal in Minnesota, but it has to be in the appropriate packaging. So I confronted the driver on that, and he did admit that there is some marijuana that's not packaged appropriately in the car, which prompts me to call for a second car for a vehicle search, just for officer safety purposes. So once the second officer, my partner, gets here, I'm going to take a look in the car and see if I can find the marijuana, or at least seize the marijuana if applicable, and we'll see what we can do from there. So in speaking with the young man that I have stopped here, he acknowledged that he was going well over the limit in the 45 zone. He acknowledged he was tailgating the car that we all saw him doing so too. The odor of marijuana, the source was located. He had some carts tucked way down in between his center console and driver's seat. In Minnesota, you cannot have open packages of marijuana. So I decided to make this more of an educational stop for him, or at least to remind him of those rules, and since handed the carts back to him and had him put them in the bed of his truck, because I don't even want him to be tempted. He's not using. There is zero indication whatsoever that he's been using the marijuana. But to eliminate that temptation and to make sure he's complying with the rules and the laws of the state, I had him separate himself from the cart. So I'm going to give him a warning for the open packaging of marijuana. I'm going to give him a warning for the loud exhaust. I'm going to give him a warning for follow too closely, but I am going to give him a citation for speeding today.
Well, we were wrapping up, and now we're really wrapping up, hopefully. That concludes this ride along. Any last words for this one?
No.
Wear your seatbelts.
Yeah, based on the time of day that the crew came out today, I hope that my message gets out there about the importance of people just driving safely and wearing their seatbelts, staying off their phone, watching the speedometers and things like that, because you're not the only ones out on the road. Mm-hmm. Even if you are the aggressive driver, keep in mind that your family and friends are out on the road too, and chances are good they probably don't like if you're driving aggressively and dangerously. So everybody drive safely, get home safely, and have a great day.